Brothers, look, we got a few minutes. A couple things, man. I don't know if you all saw our sister Angela Rye.
Yes.
Last couple weeks, she got a new podcast. Her, um, what's the sister Tiffany? Tiffany, what's Tiffany's last name? Tiffany
Tiffany
Cross.
Cross.
Tiffany
Yes.
Cross and Andrew Gillum. They got a new podcast. But she talked
Yeah.
about brothers and sisters, how she felt violated by Chris Cuomo when he was at, and she was at CNN. She posted a picture to her Instagram or whatever in a bathing suit, and I guess it was
Hmm.
kind of metallic. And he called her, He called her about something, but then referred to her as like tinsel crotch or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Do we have that audio or no?
Yeah. Deontay has that.
Because it's something to hear her. It's really something, brothers and sisters, that,
Yeah.
because she was so afraid that
Hmm.
she couldn't even defend herself against this man and his evil, disrespectful words to her. And this is not 1952, man.
Right.
It's
Right.
2023, 2022, 20. I mean, it's amazing to me that so when Brother Deontay, you can hit it if it's ready. It's only a minute, brothers and sisters, but I want you to listen to this, okay? I want you to listen carefully. This is Angela Rye.
I felt like the safest place I had on a show on CNN had been compromised. I ignored it, just hoping it would go away, or even more. Did I imagine this? But I didn't. A few hours later, he said hello. I didn't respond for 2 more days, despite his plea the next day to call because he wanted to discuss work. I tried to punt until after the Georgia runoffs, asking a week later if he still wanted to discuss his work idea, despite him mentioning tinsel bikini and tinsel bottom along the way. As I think about this, it feels so small compared to what other women in the workplace experience. But I was afraid to speak up. Between New Year's and my follow-up, an insurrection happened on Capitol Hill where I feared I would lose loved ones. I felt like if I called him out, I was risking everything I was finally starting to build with the network. And as someone who is known for being courageous, I cannot begin to tell you how much I felt like, even now, feel like a coward.
Now, brothers and sisters, look, man. This is a sister, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm not a woman, so I don't know what it's like to feel accosted in that way. But what I do know is this. If she was talking about Chris Cuomo, who was at CNN at the time, she was a contributor. He was a big guy, was on show and all of that, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
He insults her, right? And
Yes.
she's afraid to tell him, you out of pocket. So I'm going to say this, brothers and sisters, two things. One, if she was afraid to say to Chris Cuomo that you're out of pocket, there was a bigger problem than Chris Cuomo. Because Chris Cuomo got a boss. So obviously the boss, the colleagues, and everybody there, she didn't feel protected by them. Right? But I'm going to say this,
Right.
brothers and sisters, and I don't mean to be critical of my sister. But see, we see these people in the house, and we think they're doing okay, brother, but they in hell. They're not in heaven.
That's right.
They're suffering to get some benefit from an enemy, man. Well,
Right.
brother Naba, what you know about that? This what I know about that. Let me tell you something, man. I was fresh out of college, working I just came into the nation not that long ago. And I was working in a federal agency in public affairs, right? Beautiful sister, tall, statuesque, told me one day that this wrinkly, crinkly, dandruff-laden Caucasian man that worked in the office told her that he would pay to have sex with her. You hear me? Told her to her face, right? But the sad thing was, the message was carried to her by a black man that worked in the damn office. So she told me, and after she told me, the first thing she said, right? Don't do nothing. Don't say nothing. I said, okay. All right, I got. Every time he came in that office, brother, all I did was just stand behind her desk and look at him like, devil, I'll take your head today.
Go ahead.
Today, man. She comes into my office one day. She says, excitedly, what did you say to him? He doesn't bother me anymore. Right? I said something without saying nothing, man.
Right.
And we as black men got to take the position we are going to protect our women, man.
Come on now.
We can't victimize them and as others victimize them. And lastly, the last nonprofit I got kicked out of, praise be to Allah.
Mm-hmm.
They moved against the sister that was the assistant executive director. My wife at the time was 8 or 9 months pregnant, man. But what they did to the sister was absolutely wrong. White folks, they just want to be white. And they did not want to submit to a talented black woman. You hear me? She had more talent, more experience than everybody in there. And put the organization, it used to be called the National Training and Information Center right here in Chicago. Right. I think it's called National People's Action now. And if you got a question, call me. And I deal with you. I know you changed now, right? Yeah, right. But I didn't care nothing about that, man. So they got rid of all the black folks over Martin Luther King Jr. weekend holiday.
Wow.
But what I said to myself was this. You may not have known what a black man looked like when I walked in the door. But you're going to know what he looked like when I walk out.